so we're about to kick a fender, or a dent in that fender right here. I don't know how it's gonna go, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some tools right here, down right there, and then we're gonna show like how we're gonna approach it. So we'll see what happens. Let's get this done. Let's go. This is what a tech meetup should really be like.
Right.
I didn't eat. Mr. Steel Toe did. Look at the door.
Why do you do that? Why?
You're literally 2 minutes too late. Look at the door.
Why?
If I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it. So who's fixing it?
The question is, how much would you charge for that? Or would you do that? Honestly, would you do it?
No.
Okay? You wouldn't do it?
No.
Why?
There's other work I would rather do. And honestly, I would rather just send that to the body shop, in my opinion. I know some guys would do it if you get $1,500 for it and you could do it. Go for it. Me personally, I would rather do something.
Now, John works for me. John, what do you think? What do you think we would do?
He actually touched the pricing. I'd say $1,400-1,500 for something like that for us.
Okay, so this would go into the experimental mode. I would disclose that to the prospect first.
Yeah.
What do you
let
mean?
them
What do
know.
you say to you?
What I mean is, I would let the prospect know. Look, I would ask them first. Okay, so what are you looking for here? Do you want to make this look like new again? Do you, or, you know, because this possibly may need repaint, body shop. As far as me being able to fix it, I'd have to go in there and see how that metal is going to respond to what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And if it does respond well, I expect a certain percentage of perfection after. I mean, I don't know. I don't like to use like percentages, but I would basically say we're going to improve this.
Yeah.
I have videos that I would accompany also to the prospect to show them this is what I consider a 90% repair, for example. That being said, the pricing is going to be close to body shop or possibly more. So we're probably looking at
because it doesn't the effort doesn't change the amount of the cost. I mean, sometimes our labor might cost more than what a body shop would cost.
Yep.
And yeah,
I basically at this point want to see how much skin the prospect has in the game, because a lot of people, they don't mind painting it, and I turn more of these down than I actually fix. But when I do fix them, it's because the person absolutely either doesn't want to paint it, or because they want the convenience of PDR. One day, it'd probably take me about 1 day to do this. So I'd probably be close to the 2,000 range.
Really?
Just off the top of my head. Once you disclose all that information and you throw out that number, you let them decide. And
Good job,
as they
Joe.
say yes, so then you got to fix it.
you know, and like you said, it's part of your how you are, like you said, your time and the value of your time, and that's gonna kick your ass in the middle of that repair. So
It is.
Chris.
I'm not sure.
I get a commission from a body shop, so
Yeah.
I probably if I had the time, I would probably take it on just for the experience, and I would probably definitely be around $1,400-1,500. But I would let them know, like, give me 10 minutes on it, see if it starts reacting the way I want, and if it's not, then I'm out.
Yeah.
No loss there. But I would definitely try it.
Now these guys, Matt.
Yes, sir.
These little I forget to use these once in a while because I have them. That's super important. Those little.
Good for documentation, especially for insurance claims.
Now I wouldn't try to have a customer do this out of pocket. Let me tell you that, guys. Right now, if you guys are trying to give somebody a customer an estimate on that without asking them if they're going to go through insurance, because the insurance is going to pay top dollar. Now you got some motivation. Don't just look at this and going, oh, this is, dude, insurance is going to take care of that because they can't afford to pay that out of pocket. So they're going to try, but they're going to realize they're going to have to make a claim.
So how do you take that step, Mike? Because I don't.
I ask them, are you planning to make a claim or are you paying out of pocket? And then they usually say, I'm going to pay out of pocket. And I'm like, well, you do know this is going to be, well over $900 minimum. And they're like, oh, I didn't think it was going to be that much. I thought it was going to be like $200 or $300. You know what I mean? And then you're like, listen, if you start a claim, I'll handle everything for you, and I can even help you on your deductible if it's under $500, because this is an $1,800, $2,200 repair at a body shop. PDR.
Yeah.
Shane,
Yeah.
Definitely.
how do you handle that? I know you can do it, but what would
Right.
do you do those repairs, or do you would you
Yeah.
rather have a shop or what?
No, I think that kind of like what Joe touched on. I think you really want to figure out what the client is looking for on this one. And I mean, yes, obviously this is going to take a significant amount of time, and especially, just to get it to a high level, of repair. And what comes with that is that higher cost, and you really have to see kind of what the client is looking for and what if they're willing to do that. And I mean, you take this as a Toyota Camry, that was owner, if it might not be as important for them to pay for a super high quality repair that's gonna
Would you clean
put
it up? If the customer being a Corolla, most of these customers
Sure.
would be like, you know what, I just want this dent cleaned
Absolutely.
up.
Absolutely.
I think that's more
But-
realistic with a Corolla.
But yeah, I think that like I said, it really depends. And that's why it's at a client to client basis with smashes like this, And yeah, I mean, you could do 2 or 3 other smaller dents and make just as much, I feel like. But if it's if the opportunity is there, then absolutely I would probably take that on.
I agree. Now, and listen, what I guys do, what I do on these type of repairs. Again, are you going through insurance, or what's your option? Do you want to make it better? Because I have options for all of you, okay? Depending what customer you are, you don't know what kind of customer they are if you just throw out a number, because that number might I'm not
That's spot on, right?
Yeah.
That's spot on.
Okay, so
you need to find out who your client is. What do you want out of this? Are you looking just to make it look good, or do you want it perfect? Being a Corolla, I'm going to say most of the customers are going to be on that lower price range hunt, and they're just going to want the dent out. You never know. Maybe this is their pride and joy, and they might want to pay $1,500 for it.
Well, what I do too is I will take this dent, right, and I'll go, look, we can do a rapid PDR repair. I don't know how good you're looking for, but what we do is we place glue special places on this, and we're going to be able to pull about 50% of it out for about $150 to $300. But those little ripples and those little effects at the end, that's 90% of where we spend our time, and that's where it jumps up to the $1,000 range. Okay? Because we spend 90% of our time on the last 10%. So we give them that customer, either make a claim, pay out of your pocket, go the cheaper route first. Well, can I do the $150 or $200 option first? Absolutely, but you're locked into that.
And you'll be amazed. A lot of customers, when you do that, they'll be like, "Oh my God, that looks amazing," and you're going, "Okay."
No, John's the same way. I send them out, and that's the thing too. Is if you guys aren't offering that option, you're losing money, hundreds of dollars, if not $1,000 a week on
I
that.
look at that as the best option.
Yeah.
For my day and how busy I am, I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay, what are you looking to get out of this? Oh, I just want it better. Great, I got.
I would rather do that.
$250. Yeah, I'm gonna make it.
You
70%.
absolutely make more money.
Yes.
You're making like $500 a 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Because literally, as we see,
$250, you spend an hour on it, and then say you get $1,500, but then you're spending 9 hours on it.
Yeah.
you're
Pulling
not
your hair out.
the you know what you're making. You know your margin there is decreasing as you
That's right. As
you know spend more time on it. You know, so if they're wanting that perfect, if you're not at that price point.
Yeah.
I mean, you're cutting yourself, you know, more and more as you know.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you what the. Now I'm not saying charge $150 for that. I'd probably charge a little bit more, maybe $250 to pull the rapid PDR of that.
You have to, because you still need to do some work.
But you're gonna see where you could make money just on that part, because sometimes they just want it to look better. They don't want to look like nasty and crazy.
And what we can do in an hour would be make huge improvements alone.
What would you do on that? Would you?
Well, start with a little cold glue.
No, exactly. Now, we were just talking about the option of cold glue, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm telling everybody between $200 to $300 to rapid PDR repair that, because it's so severe. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know what kind of customer you have, right? John, and you know, because I handle the customers for you guys, and you know that. What about you, Cory? Do you offer the rapid PDR repair on something like that?
I do. Okay. Yeah, and I agree with you that it should be a little bit more than maybe 150, something like that, because we're going to be doing multiple pulls, making sure that the temperature is correct and everything like that too. So it's going to take more time. But yeah, this is a nasty one.
So obviously we all agree.
Hey folks, if you want to watch and learn about paintless dent removal in a professional format, please check out denttrainer.com. Lots of fantastic in-depth PDR tutorials just like the one that you're watching right now. Not to mention PDR tool discounts as a signed up member. Check it out today.
Agree we would do cold glue rapid PDR repair on this first, right? What would be, or Joe, do you have a different option? Would you do?
I don't use cold glue.
You don't use cold glue?
No.
Why?
I used it the other day just because of this guy. You know, he inspired me, but I was like, no.
Which one?
I personally feel like I wasn't using the Glexo. I used the other one, sticky tab tape.
Oh,
tab
God,
tape. And not as good. Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I've cracked paint with cold glue before, and so I feel like if you can do anything heat it up, like Shane recommended. He recommended that right before. But I think metal moves better warm, and paint is more flexible that way.
I'm going to give you guys real quick what I think I would use. I would use here at the shop, if the person wanted it out, they didn't want a cold glue option, I'm going to use the K-bar. Not the K, either the K-bar, I'm sorry, the hustle stick. Because I can control it, I can tap, I can control where I want that pressure to come out, okay? Because cold glue, don't get me wrong, you see that edge right there? Cold glue will fine, but it can still risk kinking your fender, okay?
Yeah, but that's.
But I would
be
start
like
cold
the
glue
last
up there.
spot, I would
Yeah,
say, probably,
you're right. Cold glue, if I was out in the field, I'm cold gluing it. If I'm in the shop, I'm hustle sticking it. So that's, but the bridge, none of us are technically wrong about how you do it, because we're smart enough not to like over pull it. Now the only bad option, if someone told me that, well, what if I'm just gonna put a super tab in the middle and I'm gonna pull it, that would be probably the wrong thing to do, because the super tabs don't let go and they're gonna overstretch, right? So, but what would you do, Matt? I haven't asked you. What would you try, man?
Well, I might put like a super tab on there with a tension strap and ratchet it, and put a constant pull on it, and while it's coming out and having a control, because that way I'm actually slowly, watching what it's doing and putting a little bit more tension on it, and then at the same time I'll either stop and realize I need to tap some crown to release some of that pressure, especially towards the bottom of the wheel there, and then put a little bit more tension on it. That's an option, or like you said, a hustle stick. That way it gives you that same control, but it doesn't keep that constant pressure necessarily unless you have two people. But that ratchet strap, honestly, I would probably get a ratchet strap and slowly try to bring that back, and just watch how it reacts, and tap the crown and pull and tap and pull, and
okay. So who wants to use what first? This is the kit right here. Yeah, you need this. Well, first thing you're doing told you, hustle stick. Hustle stick.
It can be dizzy. I'm spinning.
Do a hustle stick here. We're gonna use some of these the Cam Auto tabs. Some of those. We're going to probably use a little bit of the Kiko Super tabs here. I'll use some of this. And we're going to use, I don't know if guys want to use that or the hustle stick over here. So we're all kind of deciding what we want to do.
All right, so I haven't personally used this, but I've seen this used on videos, and it's a Cam Auto, and essentially what this is it's gonna pull the tension sideways versus pulling out. You know, it's gonna do it right here. So basically, pulling this backwards is gonna actually release this, release this pressure here.
That's what we're hoping.
So we're hoping, yeah, in theory, So I think so. We'll give that a shot and see what that does.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Now pay attention to this part. We're trying to bring the metal from the outside back into the center.
Yeah. I got Shane right there in that 30 area.
Yeah, most have gotten out of that thing just because that's all I need is 130.
Hold on.
And it's
Let's heat it, because.
Dude, I could almost see.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not running.
Can't not soak that way. Bryce Kelly, huh? Okay.
Barely on.
Oh shit, dude. Oh, I'm just gonna like blow up. Like. Or here. Yeah, and there's another one right there.
We want to see the pressure. 86.
86.
It's kind of pulling. Oh yeah!
Oh, there it is. That's making it a lot nicer, actually.
Ah, so you see it did work. It pulled from the side, bringing that lower part of the metal, unlocking the pressure. So you'll see in a little bit how our friend Chris Brown goes from behind the panel and starts working it, and it instantly releases pressure.
You're pretty tight.
That's about the highest.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's coming off. It's about to come off and snap off there. So.
Okay.
Now I see.
I'm gonna step over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It
Actually,
it brought this back a little
yeah,
bit.
and, look, and it released a
leave
lot of pressure right there. Dude. Look at that.
It's still 100 degrees, dude.
Wow. I would leave it and pull now.
Yeah.
That's
I would either hustle stick that
Yeah.
or
Yeah, that too.
that right there made a huge difference. I would leave
That
it.
high though? Yeah. I would probably go down a little now.
I would leave it.
114.
it's
Where's the?
I can't believe that thing's holding on.
I did hold it.
I know, right?
Actually, it's not falling off. It's just tilting. Keep going, Shane. Let's see what happens.
I say you pull out.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, all right. Hey, let's keep the tension there.
Yeah.
Let's set up another one and pull out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
So
Dude, that's looking so much better already. Just by that. That's huge. Made a huge difference.
Put your hand in there.
oh. Ah. Dude, that took a lot of no over pulling or
Right there,
under
yeah,
stressing.
Your cleanup's already almost there.
Yeah. Just push that top corner in a little bit.
You just take a blending hammer and you're done, dude.
And while heating this up, and that's gonna at least relieve some tension here, and then I'm gonna go in here and start moving that body line just a little bit, and just kind of gradually start looking at it in the light and work the deepest parts to just kind of shrink them down.
That's a good idea, guys. This is a good round table here.
I think cell Contreras
That-
called
that-
it sequencing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Against the brace. And then after we bring this out, it's going to create a gap there, and we'll start knocking down.
I use that exact same ratchet with that thing for my videos to show the tension.
Fairly easy.
Not just do it. I put 130 pounds.
Yeah, that totally helps.
Tension on it, and then not a dent's this complex, but I would. That's what I
You
would do.
can put a double bend up there. You can get a flat bar up there. Hog glue.
That's a Cam Auto system right there.
Cam
right?
Autos, yeah.
And strap system from Matt right there.
Yeah. Yeah, just some ratchet straps and
Got it tied
we
over
got
to
the.
this. Actually, I didn't even know that. I wanted to use straps, and I was like, where am I going to pull it to? Now I got something, right?
It's all about thinking outside the box,
Oops,
man.
sorry.
What's that?
It's cool shit. This is just the Derek Reed knockdown set a couple years ago, and I put these little caps on them, and I use these almost exclusively. Like the one that I showed you, this one here.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this is like 5 years back, this stuff. So that's like, that counts as old school now. But this is the first gen VIP. Also, I'll use this metal on metal, and I'll use this one with the rubber, and then this one also. And then I use these a lot too. They're just Dent Craft and Ultra, little hockey puck.
I see you have this one too. Kind of like, oh, you got a shorty.
This is his first tool that he made, and he sent me one, and put the name on it. Yeah, pretty badass. Yeah, that's a prized possession. You know, and honestly, I'm not.
No, dude, this is awesome. I like this. I like the shortness on it.
I've got all those, like the Shane Jacks and a whole bunch of them.
This is a sweet setup, Joe. I mean, I'm gonna get one just for the shop. It's perfect.
Dude,
it beats
well,
the other one.
did you see how they work?
No.
So when I take it apart, I'll take this off and I'll put this in the truck. Okay. And these, dude, it's so multi-purpose. These all come off, right? And this is just basically a dolly.
Yeah.
It all separates. So you can do this.
Well, I'll do that. Look at that.
And in fact, I never.
What
take
this
off.
cost? What this like?
Oh, dude, not like probably like $250.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
This is great. A paper towel.
Yeah, it's nice to have because I use the paper towels for the glue, for the alcohol.
Yeah.
But dude, the other day I was in a customer's garage, and her only electrical outlet was in the ceiling. So I just stood on this, man. You know, I've eaten lunch with customers on this thing. You know, they order a pizza or something.
Look at that.
And we sit down and have lunch right here and break bread, you know, while I'm working on their car.
Join us in the next episode as we continue to watch how these PDR techs from Southern California attack the rest of the dent, along with their tool setups and techniques.
And I thought, bing, you know, I had a light bulb.